What was the routine like? Can you do any physical activity? Another question that I have got from a lot of people is how can I join, or when is the next batch? And lastly, how was your experience? So my experience, Namaste everyone, my name is Irina Stapit. I recently went to attend a Vipassana meditation course in Nilkantha. I went there during mid-July, and a lot of you have asked me a lot of questions about my experience, about the logistics and so on. So I am here today with some of those answers. I hope this helps you. So the first question I have here is about the routine. What was the routine like? Can you do any physical activity? So about the routine, it's actually very strict, the routine there. You have to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. There is a bell, gong, just the bata every day, every morning at 4 a.m. You have to get ready and sit for meditation at 4:30. At 6:30 you get your breakfast, then you do some more meditation. At 11 a.m. you have your lunch, you rest a little bit, and again you do some more meditation. And about 5 p.m. I think, at 5 p.m. you get tea and some fruits, and then you do some more meditation. So it's going to be about 10 hours of meditation per day. You eat and you rest and you sleep. That is about the routine. You don't get to do much of the physical activity, as yoga and other forms of heavy physical activities are not permitted. The second question I have is, can you communicate with anyone? So on day zero evening, you start your noble silence, which means that you cannot communicate with anyone. And that is not just your verbal communication, it's also through your body language, through your eyes, through your facial expression, or by writing. You can't communicate with your fellow meditation people who come for the meditation. But you can talk to the teachers if you have any questions about the technique of meditation, or if you have any confusion. And you can also talk to volunteers there if you have any questions about logistics, if you have any questions about the stay, about anything as such. But otherwise, you cannot talk to anyone. And another thing is, like, nobody is monitoring you if you are talking to your fellow meditation people or not, but it's actually self-discipline. Nobody's going to punish you, nobody's gonna come and tell you, hey, don't talk to someone else, but it's actually just being with yourself. You think as if there is no one else, and you don't disturb yourself and your fellow mates. The third question that I have is it true that you cannot take anything like books, notebooks, mobile phones, pens, etc. with you? And yes, you cannot take your mobile phones, pens, books, anything. It is prohibited. For your mobile phones, right when you enter, there's like a locker system. You deposit there, and then you get back on the 11th day. And in terms of books, pens, anything to write down your thoughts, that is also prohibited. You cannot take it. Another question I have is about details about the food and accommodation. Okay, to begin with the accommodation, it is a simple room. You have to share a room with one other person. I didn't share my room with anyone else because I guess because of the pandemic and so on, there were less number of people who signed up, so I got a single room. And inside the room there's a separate toilet and there's a separate bathroom. There are 2 beds, very simple beds, and you do get your own pillow, you get your blanket, yeah, that's about it. That's all you get. And if you want the pillow covers, they also provide you that, but if you want to bring your own bed sheet, your pillow covers, you can bring that too. That's the accommodation, and it's well lit, it's really good, it's hygienic, it's safe, it is more than you can expect. The food is really good. It is very simple, hygienic, nutritious food that you get there. For breakfast, you get simple breakfast food like bread, cornflakes, milk, tea, or something like that. And for lunch, you get dal bhat, rice, curry, maybe sometimes you get curd and so on. So it's very simple, homemade, nutritious food. Another question that I have is, did you lose weight? So actually I did not lose any weight. In fact, I gained some weight because most of the day, because all of the day you're just meditating, you don't have any physical activity. All you do is sit and meditate, eat and sleep. So no, I did not lose any weight. In fact, I gained some. Another question is, what is the cost of the meditation? So actually there is no cost for the meditation. You don't have to pay anything if you don't want to, but at the end of the meditation you are asked to provide something. It's like dan or donation, which helps the next batch of people who come for meditation to have something for themselves. So you're actually paying for people who come after you instead of paying for yourself. It's like a donation. Another question that I have got from a lot of people is, how can I join, or when is the next batch? So the meditation happens every 15 days, which is 2 times a month. So you can go to their website, you can register for yourself, for your loved ones. But I will tell you that the queue is very long. I had to wait I had to register 1.5 months prior to when I went. So the queue is very long. If you go and see there, it may be a month, 2 months or so on. But sometimes there is a waiting list. Sometimes people drop out at the end, and if you wait, maybe you'll get in sooner, but definitely it is a long wait. Another question is, would you recommend this to someone else? Yes, definitely. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who wants to go. If you have time and if you get a chance to go, you should definitely go. But you should not go just because someone else is telling you to go. It has to come from within, I feel. Because some days are going to be difficult, and if you just go because someone else told you to go, because someone else forced you to go, then you might not be able to finish the whole course, or you might just blame that person. I know I would have blamed that person if I had gone because someone else forced me to go, or if someone else had told me to go and take the meditation. Another interesting question I have here is, can you achieve the same experience of meditation at our normal day-to-day setting? I think, I'm not sure, but in my experience, I think that would not be possible, because the 10 days that you stay there is so secluded from the outside world. You don't talk to anyone, you have strict diet, you have strict routine there, and you have gurus over there, the teachers who are always there. So I think that it would not exactly be able to, you would not be exactly be able to replicate it at home. But when you come back from the meditation, you do continue the same meditation at home, and that is going to be very fruitful for you. But I think the 10-day meditation that you do over there cannot be replicated at our day-to-day settings. Another question I have is, did you see anyone break down or become overwhelmed? I think a lot of people get a lot emotional when you go there, and it doesn't have to be on the same day. Some people get emotional on the first few days, some at the middle, and some at the end. So definitely I saw a lot of people get emotional. I got emotional myself as well. Some people got emotional inside the meditation hall while they're doing the meditation. Some people get emotional outside when at the end, when you get to speak and you have so much emotions, you have so much to say to people break down at that time. And some people even go back home. Actually, when people can't take it anymore, if they can't do it, you can also go back home by talking to the teachers, by talking to the volunteers over there. So everything is on your own. Like, nobody forces you to stay there, nobody forces you to do anything. It's for yourself, and it's by yourself, I believe. What was the most challenging part? Now, I think a lot of people I've talked to after I came back from the meditation think that the most difficult, challenging part is actually just staying during the meditation for long hours, the physical pain. I mean, the physical pain is there, of course, while you're just staying there for hours and hours. You do have a lot of body ache, pain, and so on. But I think that is very momentary. Once you get to stand up, once you get to walk, then that body ache disappears, like it just goes away. But the fact that you have to stay with your emotions, the fact that you have to stay with yourself is very difficult, was very difficult for me at least. And there are just no distractions. In normal day-to-day life, you have distractions from social media, you can talk to people, and as soon as there are some feelings or you get uncomfortable, you just do something. You just read a book, you go to social media, you talk to people, and you get distracted. However, in that 10 days, there is no one to talk to, you don't get to do anything else, but you just have to stay with yourself. You have to face the inner self, you have to listen to what your inner self has to say to you, and that becomes very difficult. But that is also the part of the process, and you get to know a lot about yourself. So I think that was the most challenging part. And lastly, how was your experience? So my experience, I had a really good time. I would say that I didn't experience anything in extreme. Everything was on a scale of 10. If I had to say, I would say everything was on a 4 to 5 level. It was mild. I did experience everything in terms of all these emotions, happiness, sadness, anxiety, all emotions coming out of me. I cried a lot. I was hungry at times. I was sad. I wanted to go back home sometimes. I felt fed up. I wanted to just sleep. But it was nothing super extreme. I know a lot of people experience, I've heard that a lot of people experience very extreme emotions. That didn't happen to me, but nevertheless, I learned a lot about myself. I learned things that I did not think were important to me. I didn't have time to think about some of the things, it just passes by. But during those days, I actually had to sit with them. I had to experience that, and I realized what is more important for me in my life, like what matters the most to me. And lastly, did you feel inner peace? I think yes and no. I guess to feel that innermost inner peace, it's going to take a long time. With just one course of 10-day meditation does not fulfill you from the most core. Of course, there are some of the things that I learned about myself, some portion, some layers of me, but to get to the innermost portion, like in Kung Fu Panda, it says it lies within you. Like, there is no secret ingredient, it lies within you. So I think to reach to that, I will have to work a lot more in meditation. I have to continuously do it. It's not a one-time process. You don't become a saint with just one round of meditation, one round of 10-day meditation. But I think I learned a lot about myself, and I hope that I'll keep learning about myself. And at the end, what I want to say is, do not compare your experience with anyone else. Everybody is gonna feel differently. Everybody has their own experience. Some feel a world of emotions, while others may not feel anything at all. I know I didn't feel anything in the first couple of days. So please do not compare your experience, your feelings, what you get out of there with anyone else. With those, I have come to the end of the video, and I hope this was helpful for you too. If you want to go to meditation, I would recommend it for sure, and I hope you have a great time during meditation if you go there. Thank you. Bye-bye.